folks. It is May 14th and it's about 75 degrees out here. I'm gonna get into these hives. I don't know if I've told y'all before, but my name's Andrew. Introduced myself for the first time. But we're gonna get into these hives. I'm gonna check these honey supers. It's been raining for about a week straight now, and this is the first day these girls have been able to really get out and fly. So we're gonna make sure that they don't have any swarm cells since they've been cooped up for about a week, and check the honey stores. I'm also going to put on some oxalic acid extended release pads that I made up about 3 weeks ago. And then finally I'm going to check on this nuke box down here to make sure that they're doing okay, see if they've released that queen yet or not. So let's get at it. Yeah, it'd be nice if I ended up remembering to bring my hive tool and smoker over here. So this has been my best hive so far this year. They have a whole honey super down at the bottom here, the second box. So I'm gonna get in here, make sure nothing's changed, see if they've got into this second deep here, and then check the brood chamber here. See what I got going on. So it looks like they are starting on this second super here. And most of what's blooming right now is clover. This past fall I planted about a 1/4 acre of white clover, Dutch white clover, and crimson clover, and they are tearing that up. So just check on these boxes here. Yeah, they're drawing that frame out. This frame's empty here. They're working on it a little bit at the bottom. Working on this one a little bit at the bottom. And if they're not going to draw up into this one, I may switch these boxes and see if under supering these will work any better, because it seems like they're just putting a little bit of wax on these frames here, not really getting into them too much. So maybe I can make it feel like there's a void in between the box underneath that's full and this one, so that they'll actually work this one a little bit more. So we'll get down into this bottom super here and see what they have in it. Make sure that it's full still. Make sure that it didn't eat all the honey while they were cooped up in this hive during that week of rain. And we got a frame stuck. They did not like that. I'm gonna go through this box, just see what all they have capped as far as honey goes. Just to see what they have down here. This should be all capped honey. And they've got fur comb going to the side of the box here, so It may pull some of that honey off. It is a full hive of bees, that's for sure. So yeah, they got a good bit of it capped off there. Continue going through this box. Filling that frame full of honey. That side's full of honey. Making queen seals, or queen cups for some reason, practice cups. They don't have any eggs up here, so I don't know why they're making practice cups. Hopefully they're not swarming down in the bottom. They definitely don't like me being in here. Got some pollen in here, backfilling with nectar. Just make sure the queen didn't accidentally get through the queen excluder. Make sure she didn't sneak up here somehow. But they're capping that honey off. I think I will switch the bottom super and the top super just to get them started on that second super here. But they are backfilling it with nectar, capping it off. Every frame here is full of honey. Capped all the way down. Oh, come on. Starting to cap that one off. So we'll let them get back to work on that one, but I'm going to switch these two boxes here. That way they can work on this second box and get it as drawn out as this top or this bottom box here. Let's see. Best way to do this. Get down here in this brood chamber and see what she's got going on down here. This box is gonna be heavy to get off of here. Yeah, it's about 100 pounds at least. Give myself a little smoke here so they leave me alone a little bit. They're definitely sticking everything together. This is definitely what a massive colony of bees looks like. They're not really pelting me, they're just kind of flying around my head telling me they don't like me being here. But just gonna make sure we're queen right. That is a frame full of pollen. There are a lot of drones on that frame there. Just gonna go through here, make sure everything's good with this queen. Make sure she's laying. Make sure we got eggs. Try to calm them down just a little bit. This is a very large hive. They're putting a lot of pollen in. No swarm cells down here on the bottom. She's back filling with eggs. A lot of pollen coming in. Whole sheet of brood there, as you can see. Some queen cups down here at the bottom. Make sure there's nothing in those. This is what you kind of want to see when you start getting into a honey flow, is a box full of bees overflowing everywhere. Yeah, so she's got a brood on each side, laying up eggs, back filling everything. Got a sheet of brood from side to side here. They're bringing in the pollen, bringing in the nectar. I've got one split off of these girls, and I'm hoping that they raise that queen and she goes out and gets mated, so I can have more hives like this for next year. Eggs from side to side on these frames. Brood and eggs from side to side on this frame. This queen is definitely busy. And some of these frames are brand new because of the split I made. And they've drawn them out to where she can lay on them. And that may be why they're not putting as much honey up in that top box, because of the wax they're having to draw out down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them alone down here so that they can put in the honey in that top box, which I'm going to switch to the bottom. Plenty of drone brood here. Kind of keeping an eye on the my veil, because there's a lot of them on there. I'm just making sure none of them somehow find their way in. But she's got brood from one side of this box to the other. And we'll put them back together and let them get back to work. Hopefully they can make another box of honey for me. Our flow has kind of slowed down because the tulip poplar has tapered off a little bit. So our main source of nectar right now is clover. Clover and dandelion. So we'll close these girls back up. I know they're not happy about me being in here, but after that long stint of rain, I don't want to go without checking them. So we'll put the not finished honey super on the bottom, and we'll put the one that's already drawn out and mostly capped over on the top, and we'll see how that works. See if that changes how they go about filling the bottom super here. As you can tell, they don't really like being bothered while they're going in a honey flow, just getting started back. They have been cooped up for a whole week, and I can tell they're a little agitated, but we'll keep moving. Probably do the same to this box as far as switching the honey supers up. Make sure the bottom honey super, they're actually filling it up. This one doesn't have near as many bees, but they're doing a good job of filling these boxes. So yeah, they're getting some wax in there, drawing it up, trying to get started on it, but we'll switch them, see if it helps any. Some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. We'll test it out. So I got two frames here that aren't drawn out, but they're working on them. I'm gonna move them to the middle here, so that it's easier for them to get to those. They like to build up straight up vertically. So if you put the frames that aren't drawn out in the middle, then they tend to draw those out a little better. And this one out on the outside seems to not be as drawn out also, so we'll give them a little more to work on here. Hopefully they can fill these two boxes out within the next 2 months. Our flow is usually a little bit of March, April, May, and all of June. We got two to 4 weeks of sourwood nectar flow around middle of July to middle of June to the middle of July. And I haven't quite got the hang of catching that sourwood flow, so I just normally pull all the honey at one time. I don't try to get separate types of honey. So plenty of drones, drawing out comb. They're filling in this drone frame here. Yep, she's laid up the drone frame here. This was one of my weaker colonies, and they ended up requeening themselves about a month ago. And as you can see there, no, this is not one of those. This is one of my overwintered splits that I did in the fall last year. So they'll get requeened this fall. So she's laid up eggs from side to side. There's some outside parts of the frame here that probably need to be re-waxed. And hopefully they can straighten that out. So just making sure they don't have swarm cells. Going through all these hives. Like on that frame, it's full of brood on each side, wall to wall. And from what I've heard or seen on Bob Finney's videos and other people's videos, is if you have a frame of bees or a frame of brood, it hatches out to be 2 frames of bees. So she has laid up all kinds of brood from wall to wall on this. I just wish they'd draw that wax out a little better. I may need to bring some wax out here and kind of rub it on there to make them draw those out a little better. She's backfilled with eggs on this frame here. Backfilled on this frame here. Nose, oh, there's a queen cup down there. We'll see if it's got anything in it. Just a practice cup. And these are acorn frames, and they come pre-waxed, but I just got the single dip. I think next year I'm gonna go with the at least the double, if not the heavy wax. So it'll be easier for them to draw everything out. all these issues. There's the queen right there. I don't know if you can see her, but she's on the middle, in the middle there, walking around with a green dot. So that's last year's queen. We do have a queen cup up here. See if there's anything in it. Nope, just a practice cup. Found her, put her back down in here so I don't squish her. Trying to smoke myself a little bit so they'll leave me alone. I must have put the attack pheromone on me. But she's got brood from one side to the other. They need to draw this out. So I may turn it around. And if this last frame here doesn't have any brood on it and it's full of honey, I'm gonna move it up. That way they can have more room to lay eggs. We'll see if it's got brood on it or not. It's got pollen, no eggs. Pollen on this side. I'll just leave it because there's not much honey in that. But we'll close these girls back up and put the super that's not as full on the bottom. This propolis makes these frames difficult to move when you don't have much room in between the hives. I just remembered I need to go get my oxalic acid strips and place them. I got to get back in this other hive here and put the strips on it. But all I'm going to do is place one strip here, and all this is a 50-50 mixture of oxalic acid and vegetable glycerin that heated up till it turned to a clear consistency, and that'll be on there for 2 months during the honey flow. It's not going to affect the honey or anything like that, but just to keep the mites at bay and to keep them going the way they're supposed to be, keep them down so that when we do the treatment in the fall, they won't have as much trouble with a mite count. But I gotta get back in this big hive to get these girls on track with the mite treatment, which is gonna be some heavy lifting for sure. But that oxalic acid, those strips will help me keep mites under control during the honey flow, and then we'll treat them again in August after we pull the honey off. But I'm just going to go through the rest of these hives, and if I see anything out of the ordinary or that I need to show y'all, I'll stop the video and let you in on what I'm doing. So I'm going to transfer this nuke here into this box of 10 frames, and hopefully they'll raise a queen from that. I'm going to see if there's a queen cell in here, if they patched out or not. These nuke boxes make it kind of difficult to get into these. We're going to do our best. Show y'all how to transfer a 5-frame nuke. So the queen has been hatched. So we've got a virgin running around in here. I'll get these girls put in and let them get to work. And maybe she'll go out and get mated. It's starting to rain. Just kind of looking for her as I go. See if she might be around. But this is a split off of my big hive, so hopefully she comes back mated and she starts laying and increasing numbers. Just kind of looking at each frame here as I take it out. Being careful not to roll the bees on the side. Kind of looking for the queen as I go. They got plenty of honey, plenty of pollen. Over the next few days, she'll go out on 1 or 2 mating flights and hopefully come back, start laying up next week. But I'm not going to go through the rest of these over here because it's starting to rain and I don't want to make them any more upset than they already are. Need one more frame. Push all the frames close together here, and kind of look in this box here, see if the queen is possibly in here. What we'll do is we'll feed them and feed these other hives that have bees going to them. And all these bees flying around here, they'll figure out where their hive is. Try to level this box out just a little. And kind of tilt it forward so that all the sugar water will run that way if it doesn't run there. Able to build up just in time for some type of fall, late summer honey flow, and maybe we can get at least maybe one super off of it. But appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and watch the rest of my videos. I'll see y'all in the next one.